Hi, I'm Isha Sarah Snow. This paper is a summary of the things that I learned through multiple interdisciplinary fields of study while attending Lower Columbia College. The title for this field research project is Western Parenting Impacts on Human Development and Behavior. Quantitative and qualitative field research was gathered from 5 research subjects in the fall of 2023 under the guidance of my sociology professor, Dr. Leah Wheeler. In the winter of 2024, the resulting paper was edited and revised. This spring, I am currently in the final stages of analyzing my data and hope to publish my work soon. The objective of this research was to connect attachment theory with situational control theory, providing a valuable link between the fields of psychology and sociology. And this paper's findings offer a potential solution to mitigating and preventing deviant behaviors resulting from difficulties with emotional regulation. The literature review contains the topics of parent imprinting and role modeling, attachment and communications theories, the role emotion plays in development, and how it is stifled by insecure attachment, ways that fear can impact learning and development, adverse childhood experiences, social and moral integration, and the prefrontal cortex of the brain. 90% of the human's brain structure is formed by the time a child is 5 years old, meaning that our early childhood experiences shape not only who we are as individuals, but also form our social and cultural norms. My sociology final for fall quarter 2023 was to conduct a field research project on the assigned general topic of studying deviant behavior in society. We were to formulate a hypothesis, design the methodology, collect data, and analyze and present our findings in a research paper. I wanted to study the effect attachment has on behavior, and I formulated the following thesis statement based on my studies the previous year in the fields of trauma and mental health, along with my own personal experiences in active recovery from significant relational PTSD. I theorize that traditional Western parenting methods reduce functionality in certain areas of the brain related to social and emotional regulation, and I developed a formula that measures cognitive complexity, or how well a person perceives the world and other people around them. The studies that my paper cited of particular significance were the Vahid et al. 2018 study. The image shown on the right was published in Neuroscience, and they showed how the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and the orbitofrontal cortex work together as an integrated hot and cold cognitive and emotional interdependent network. The primary research paper used for my literature review was Attachment as a Mediator Between Childhood Maltreatment and Adult Symptomology by Mueller et al., published in 2012, because it supports my theory of deviant behaviors relating to a trauma-related disconnect between the mind, which is cognitive, and the body, which is emotional. It is centered in the prefrontal cortex region of the brain. Mueller et al. Cite multiple other studies, and they created vital academic dialogue with their paper. I gathered both qualitative and quantitative data from my research subjects and compared the results. I developed a series of questions to gather data on my research subjects' social, emotional, and moral development. That qualitative data was then analyzed using family communication theory, attachment theory, differential association theory, and situational control theory. Quantitative data was gathered from research subjects using 2 separate quizzes, Moral Foundations and Emotional Intelligence, from the IDR Labs website. An observable correlation occurred between lower deviations, which would be less difference, between morality and emotional intelligence scores, and subjects reporting higher levels of emotional disturbances along with past experiences of physical and punitive discipline in childhood. Evaluating the data trends and patterns resulted in an observable relationship between a poorly developed prefrontal cortex and the research subjects having experienced punitive and physical punishments in childhood with an absence of supportive discipline present. These findings were also consistent with the subjects' reported social and emotional difficulties that were self-reported during their interviews. At the time of recording this presentation, the literature review contains 79 references, and of those, academic sources are cited from 55 separate peer-reviewed studies. This literature review references numerous studies linking attachment and emotional trauma through the prefrontal cortex to social and moral integration, and then confirms the correlation by using both quantitative and qualitative research methods. Trends and patterns of this study could potentially link traditional Western parenting methods with human moral decline on both individual and societal levels. My work was inspired by French sociologist Durkheim, who said that a society's suicide rates are based on an imbalance of social and moral integration. Based on his earlier work, I have concluded that the elimination of punitive discipline practices in childhood would reduce suicide rates significantly. The results of this study are supported by the pre-existing literature on the subject. These findings would justify further research with a larger sample size to obtain more accurate results. This study indicates that making a cultural shift away from using punitive consequences by adopting supportive parenting methods that use pluralistic communication patterns could dramatically increase the Western population's overall mental health. There are similarities between family communications theory and attachment theory, and a relationship between how well a family communicates with each other, particularly during times of conflict, to how attached and safe they feel. I have opened up an opportunity for future academic dialogue and plan to build on my research in the future. I have listed the references here that were used directly in this slideshow. I have also included the link to the working copy of my paper hosted by Google Docs, which contains my full literature review and a list of all 79 references used. I would like to thank Central Washington University and Source for giving me the opportunity to present my work. I'm looking forward to joining the college in the fall. I would like to thank specifically Drs. Dennison, Dr. Takei, Elena Yachenko, and Sky Emerson. Thank you very much.